Well, welcome back everyone. My name is Sergey and I'm your consultant. And before we started our second hour, we had a little bit of chatting. Different people came out with different ideas and methods of how to stay online productively. So some people think that coffee or tea, milk tea is good. I can see that Russell has some Baileys and some people prefer wine. Well, or a cup of coffee, chocolate, or water. Water is good. Anything that helps you to think clearly, and anything that helps you to learn productively, I welcome any method. Remember, when people tell you there is one perfect method, they're probably lying through their teeth, because we are all unique and we are all special, and each one of us has to find our own perfect way. And our own perfect way probably will not be suitable for other people, but it will help us to learn the best way we can. Now, if you remember, during our first hour, we talked about learning vocabulary. And I think that underlining, or the most important part of the first hour, was understanding that words are parts of sentences. If you learn words, you have to learn them in sentences. Now, we also talked about if you learn certain things, you will never learn them in isolation. Because when we communicate with people, we usually use sentences, we usually use questions, we usually use phrases or expressions. We never use one word only or isolated words. So when we learn that, we should follow the same principle. So we will look through different things, and basically what it tells us that, whenever we learn a word, we can use visual tools, different types of visual tools, right? And we learn words together. Now, when we read words, we talked about 3 different steps. One is do not stop to look up every new word. We don't have to look up every word in a new in our dictionaries, because we don't need every word we read, right? Now, we need to pay attention to the words that are important to us, keywords, and if we have time, we can look back and at what we have just read. And when we speak to people, or we speak with people, having conversations, the most important thing is do not panic. In 99% of situations, nobody is going to kill you if you don't understand English, right? The worst thing that may happen to you is that when you feel embarrassed, right? Now, remember, mistakes are our friends, okay? We have to get embarrassed sometimes in order to learn certain things. Maybe one day we're going to talk about embarrassing experiences. I know that I can talk about my embarrassing experiences for a long time. But those embarrassing experiences have helped me to achieve certain things. So we don't need to be afraid of that. So do not panic when you speak to people. Listen for the overall meaning. These are key words from the first hour. Now, when some of you have participated my session when we talked about reading and writing, and when we read certain things, sometimes we can guess the meaning of words, right? I remember that when we talked about Chinese, many people say that sometimes when they read, they guess a lot. Well, guess what? We can guess a lot in English as well. Now, how do we do that? All right. Sometimes what you do is you decide first which part of speech the word is. So if you can see that the word is a noun or an adjective or an adverb, etc., sometimes you can understand, or you can guess the meaning of that word. So also, sometimes we can look for clues in its context. Now, the word clue, okay, do we know what it means? The word clue. The clue sometimes means it's some kind of a hint or an idea behind a sentence.